JD Vance's role in the Zelensky meeting, it wasn't a huge part of it, but he was doing his little sniping like, why don't you say thank you? And then Zelensky's like, I've said thank you many times. In fact, I'll say it right now. And Vance is like, well, I guess. And then Zelensky's like, well, have you even been to Ukraine? And JD Vance is like, well, I've seen videos. Oh my God, you're so massively weak. Now, he has to worry not only about what happens in Ukraine, JD Vance, he has to worry about his future going forward because he has aspirations of becoming president after Donald Trump. And I take a lot of pleasure on a daily basis knowing how much it must be killing him, not only to see Elon Musk take over the role of vice president, but also knowing that all the damage Donald Trump is doing is definitely setting fire to JD Vance's chances in 2028. But for now, he is gonna try to look like a big man or a real politician or a diplomat or whatever. Here is how he tried to frame what happened on Friday.
When it really went off the rails, of course, is when I asked, or you had a Polish journalist who asked a question, the president answered it, and then I answered it. And then something about my answer just really set Zelensky off. So then he came at me.
So you're blaming yourself.
then I went back at him. Right. And what I tried to do originally was actually try to diffuse the situation a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a fact check on that. I don't remember the diffusing the situation. You kept sniping him. He was, again, he's the tiny little lackey of the bully who hides behind the bully, and then once the person's down, he runs up and he kicks him a little bit. That's JD Vance, and JD Vance knows that that's JD Vance. More importantly, JD Vance's wife knows that that's JD Vance. But he wants to look like the big guy. He is doing one other thing there, though. When he says that I'm what set it off, he is kind of throwing himself on the grenade. I think, because I think they know, they've seen the polling. Even a lot of Republicans don't think that that made them look very good. But who is they? Does it make Trump look bad? Well, yeah, unless the storyline becomes JD Vance set him off. And maybe the relationship between Zelensky and Vance, they set fire to that or whatever. And then that allows Donald Trump to come in and be like, I'm not the one who actually caused all that. Although we watched it, we know that he was the one that set it off. It wasn't Vance and it wasn't Zelensky, it was Donald Trump. Looking down at his feet, refusing to make eye contact and sniping at Zelensky over and over and over again. That's what actually made it go bad. But anyway, before we end, I just want to demonstrate that. If we can flash back to the actual thing, just because I think that facts actually matter, here's what happened on Friday.
The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yeah, that's not, you're not answering his actual question. And as Mr. Mintler points out on Twitter, like in his initial points, he wouldn't even look at Zelensky. This isn't a coincidence. JD Vance and Donald Trump see Zelensky, a guy who has lived through unimaginable 3 years and survived despite many attempts on his life. They feel to their core unmanned by the presence of an actual man, an actual alpha male, a leader who has stood up to one of the world's biggest bullies. And neither of them can look him in the eye. It's submissive beta behavior, but I don't care what animal species you're talking about. That's what we're seeing out of Donald Trump and JD Vance. And that, we need diplomacy. It's not about chest thumping. Donald Trump would never do that with his threats to conquer Canada and Panama and Greenland. And I'm gonna take over Gaza and it's gonna be mine. There's no chest thumping there. This is absolutely stupid. When there is an actual threat to stand up to, suddenly they don't want to thump their chests. Again, like a beta monkey, they bow down. They hand over the banana. Putin, you can have whatever territory you want. If it's one of our longtime allies and all of a sudden they're big, strong men, we're gonna take over Greenland, we're gonna take your minerals or whatever. But if there's an actual challenge, suddenly they can't even look it in the eye, let alone show any actual strength. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.